Hi, and congratulations on embarking on this beautiful journey of unleashing and sharing your story. So today I want to share with you how to write your book without writing, how to create your irresistible high-ticket offer, and how to get more leads into your calendar automatically, converting them from cold to sold. This is an insider's look into the system that gave us an unfair advantage and allowed us to scale our high-ticket business offer to $1 million in just under 9 months, working from anywhere in the world. So I've written because it fulfilled me. Now, there are two types of clients that I work with. Those who need this to heal themselves, because writing to heal helps connect all the dots. Like Anne Frank said, I can shake off everything as I write. My sorrows disappear. My courage is reborn. And I also work with people that use the writing and their books to create an impact and get paid. So writing is like sex. First, you do it for love, then you do it for your friends, and then you do it for the money. So if you think about it, you do it for love because you understand unconditional self-love. Then you do it for friends because you start attracting brand new types of relationships. Then you do it for money because you use that as a lead generation tool to get high-ticket clients and enroll people into your movement. So why your book? Why does your story matter? Oprah says everybody who is still exploring where to go next should ask the question, how can I be used in the greatest service to life? You ask that question, and I guarantee you the answer will be returned and rewarded to you with fulfillment, which is really the major definition of success. So you wrote the book, now what? Let me just backtrack a little bit. The first book took me 7 years, because I kept going back into it and I wanted to make it simpler and simpler. So the whole 7 years, right, I was trading my time for understanding this process of self-realization through the book, understanding the emotions, wanted to make it more clear and more clear. So that was at the expense of my own eyesight. And I struggled a lot trying to do that by myself. Right? So by the time I finished that first best-selling book, now I have 7 books, I dug myself into a hole while writing, trading my time instead of working with the right coach. And then I sent my books to countless publishers and movie producers with no progress. So how do I make money doing what I love and working from anywhere in the world and having this freedom lifestyle, right? So I shifted my focus and I realized why I did the book: to get speaking engagements, right? To help people on a higher level. So I started creating high ticket offers. What does freedom really meant for me? To be of impact, to be able to share my message, to live in an RV, to live on the beach, right? To have a family, to have a baby, to attract my dream guy. And none of that would have been possible unless I wrote and understood all of these emotions and all of these stories. So now I've learned how to bridge the gap between spiritual fulfillment and money. And that's true wealth. And you can see some of my client success stories on YouTube. I've had clients that I've written books with. I've had clients that went from trailer to 300K in their solo line business in just 8 months. I've had clients, yoga clients, that have gone through $1,500 a month to 30K months. I've had a client who's gone to 2 million. And in our 60-minute session together, we're going to tune into getting that clear vision, the path that you desire to take, which one is right for you, realize your why you're doing this, and then create a step-by-step strategic plan for you with accountability so you can see your results. Okay, so understanding your why is the cream de la crop. What is your story? Why you want to share it? Why now? Your why is a statement of purpose that describes why you do the work that you do and why you live the lifestyle that you do. It is your calling. It is your conviction. And when you know your life's purpose, it becomes easier, right, to focus on where you are going and what matters the most in your life and what decisions are aligned with your goal. So it makes you committed and passionate about your goal. So having this purpose will help you find your true passion, okay, and commit to it. So here's the thing: you can't reverse engineer this process. You've got to have the framework. You've got to have the why behind the what that you do and the how behind the what and the why. Okay, so your big why is something you plug into emotionally that drives you when things get tough. It's not a wish, it's not a goal, it's something that will change your life or others around you, or do something for you that really matters for your soul, and that is your purpose. Okay, so we unleash our story to realize our higher purpose, right? Because through the unleashing of the story, we realize what we have come here to do, because the dots start to connect. And this is the life purpose circle: what you love doing, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs, right? Passion, profession, vocation, mission is your life purpose. And we have a lot of manifestation secret tools to help you understand this through the 7F manifesting, the human design, the Gene Keys, the Tantra. And when you unleash your story, you start to understand the different layers of beliefs and habits, right, that define your identity. Because your beliefs, your conscious or subconscious underlying beliefs, how you see the universe and yourself in it. Okay, your habits is what you do every single day. And your identity is how you see yourself and how others see you. Okay? So we assembled a team of book transcribers, editors, writers, formatters, top of the line marketers with all the bells and whistles and systems. People who have contributed to companies like Google, Facebook, Tesla, people who have gone to Ivy League schools like Stanford and Berkeley, and multiple team members have won awards. And what I want to cover with you today is secret number 1. How does the book write itself within 90 days or less? Secret number 2, how do you create this irresistible result-based offers that people want to grab, right? If you decide to go on that second path that I told you, if people are going to want to grab your high-ticket offer from the lead generation, from your book, right? Because they want to experience a high level of transformation. And secret number 3, how do you get more leads booked into your calendar automatically and convert clients from cold to sold? So this is not for you if you're not ready to transform your life by sharing your story. This is not for you if you are not ready for the emotional roller coaster that comes with having to revisit old stories so you can create a bigger impact. This is not for you if you're not ready to invest in yourself for the result. This is not for you if you prefer to spend more time, because time is more important to you than money. Remember, time is infinitely more important to you than money. Right? This is not for you if you're not ready to get outside your comfort zone when it comes to your irresistible high ticket offer and how much you charge for it. This is not for you if you don't own a business and have helped other people with at least 5K income monthly. So secret number 1, how do we write the book? How do we let the book write itself within 90 days? Okay, so those of you watching this right now, you know if there's a story inside you and you want it to be unleashed, because you know that the lessons that you've learned can serve somebody else's evolution and transformation. So you know this in your heart if this is for you and you are ready, because your whole body is telling you this is time for me to live a fulfilling life and be of higher impact, right? If this is for you, you know this in your body and you got to trust it. Because in our first session together, when 2 become 1, we actually channel all of your chapter names. It just comes through intuitively because you're ready. I am here. Right? The path has chosen me, and we just make it happen through us. I ask you the right questions, we record it, bada bim, bada boom. And then we have a 4-step process to make you an Amazon bestseller. Okay, that goes from the ability of me to help you channel this book out. So you write it without writing. Some people enjoy the actual writing process. Great, you could do both. And then you pass it along to us. We transcribe it. We have editors in-house that make it sound better. We go back and forth until you are fully satisfied. And I have people that have come to me with this idea of wanting to have a book, to unleash their story, to have these speaking engagements, to attract, their dream clients, their dream opportunities, that have had this idea that they wanted to do this for 5, for 10, 15, 20 years, right? And within 90 days or less, we have it done because they were ready. I'm here. They trusted their body. They didn't know how, but they knew why. Okay. So as long as your why is big enough, as long as you are ready to transform these lives, this is why I'm here. So guess how many people actually write a book versus want to write a book versus how many actually get it published? It's pretty crazy. But 81% of people want to write a book and only less than 1 actually get it published. Very, very, very small percentage. And this is actually the path that chose me. I was resisting helping people write the books for the longest time because it was so hard for me. for 7 years going on this roller coaster ride of emotions because I didn't have the right guidance. I didn't have somebody that could pull me out of my stories. Right? So I kept writing better and better, more simpler. The book kept sucking me in. So this is what happened when I turned into being of service, is that I had a client that come to me and say, hey, can you help me write a book? I said, I don't know how. And then all of a sudden magic happened. We get on the Zoom together and suddenly we get into a meditative state. I start asking the right questions. I hit record. She gets into a meditative state and boom, the book writes itself. We just use our bodies and our voices, right, to have it go in the right psychological flow. Cool. So the secret number 2, for those of you that want to move on to not just having a book, right, but also creating this irresistible offer that's results-based, right, for other people to be able to go with you on the same journey that you have gone through, right? And this is where it's really important to understand your why. Like we talked about it earlier. If you have a big enough why, you will not really transform other people's lives and be of higher service, then this is where you go next. Create these higher ticket, irresistible, result-based offers. And we teach you how to craft these, based on what the client is going to get, what the outcome is going to be, what your area of expertise is, what your skills are, right? And make it so irresistible the client feels stupid saying no. And remember here, originality is the key to success. And I teach you everything about creating this irresistible results-based offer. And sometimes we use human design, gene keys, to understand who you are, your branding, your niche. And we also talk about these 3 pillars: the energy alignment, powerful positioning, and compelling presentation. And remember that I dug myself into a hole while I was writing because I traded my time instead of working with the right coach. So having the right coach, high ticket offers, and at the same time writing could have saved me a lot of time and money. So I could have had a lot more freedom sooner. Hence, I understood this logic. So Steve Jobs says, the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. And if this is for you, then I want you. I am here to tell you that we're here to create a bigger impact, right? We're here to be of bigger influence and change more lives. And we can only do this together by being of service, by playing our piece in the puzzle. Okay. And sales is the highest level of service because you're holding space for somebody's transformation. And the higher ticket it is, the more you charge, the more people pay attention, the higher level of energy you have access to help transform these people who are leaders. Okay? So remember, the book does not sell itself once it's done. And even if you already have a large following, you need to create a movement around your story by offering these irresistible high-ticket offers. This is your business plan. Okay? Remember, every single moment, somebody's waking up in the morning with the exact problem that you can solve for them. And that is what your irresistible signature offer is. That's what your book is. That's what your course is. So your pre-existing audience could be completely irrelevant to your offer. Remember, the key to scaling is going out and attracting the people who need you, right? And turning them into customers. How? By unleashing your story, understanding your why, and shifting into this new identity. Right? Because the longer you believe in your new identity, the sooner the rest of the world will believe it too. And then when the 2 match, that is your true identity, right? So the 3 pillars to success, just let me remind you real quick, they're energetic alignment. Your why has to be strong, right? You got to prepare your nervous system to hold and receive more energy than it ever has before as you transition into the state of pure overflow and joy. You got to have powerful positioning, right? You got to know how to phrase things, how to make your offers irresistible, how to make yourself, as for example, a Thai massage therapist versus a Tantra transformational coach. Which one of this is positioning themselves the right way to be able to charge more? So the last 3 of the pillars is that compelling presentation and strategy, how you present yourself. Everywhere that you go online, what is your brand and what is that journey that you're taking people on with you to get to know you, to like you, to trust you? Okay, you got to find ways to create profit in every single stage, right? And knowing how to hire the right team and working with the right people is the leadership that you seek by setting those clear boundaries and managing expectations. All right. So now remember, all you have is your story. Don't die with your story inside you. Write it down, get it out to the masses, make an impact. So there are two types of people. People who will be the less than 1% to be able to share their story. And they're going to be ahead of the curve and get more results than ever before because of an early adaptation to use automated tools like AI to reach more people and create more impact. And those who are going to be left behind, dying with regrets. So Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, says, "We are at the beginning of the golden age of AI. Recent advancements have already led to invention that previously lived in the realm of science fiction, and we're only scratched the surface of what is possible." So how our system works is your lead, your book generation, the book, the ebook, the masterclass, takes them into a workflow, which has AI automations. The appointments are booked automatically for you, or the setter does them, okay? And they go straight into your calendar. Here you also have lots of text messages, emails, voicemails, where you are interacting with your client, right? And then you get scheduled into a Zoom call where you sell them the high ticket offer by taking them on a 60-minute discovery of helping your clients understand their why and helping them see clearly and have those breakthrough points to be able to understand the value that you provide. Okay, so it's a very psychological process. Great. AI in sales is everywhere. So it's time to get on that train if you haven't jumped on yet. Everything from customer acquisition to emails to reminders for the Zoom calls, for the 15-minute calls, to making contracts and giving access to the courses. Everything is available inside of automated AI systems. So here's a recap of what happens in our meeting and how we work. First thing is the 10 to 15-minute information meeting. We see if we're a good fit to go to the 60-minute deep dive where we understand your why, how fast this book wants to be written, how fast your story wants to be unleashed. And then if we understand your why and you can understand your why and you see the value, you will have a clear vision for the flow of the book, how it's going to get released, right? So we determine if you are a better fit for the group training or the one-on-one training, and our systems, right, and implementations are tailored specifically to your needs. So we can do it with you. We can do it for you. And some of the other things we have available in the back end, like I mentioned, we have the book channeling system, write your book without writing. We have manifesting financial abundance, which is all about high ticket offers. We have the money codes, as well as self-realization tools to understand your story, like 7F manifesting that keeps you on track, human design, gene keys, and Tantra. Remember, but this is really important, that every single day somebody is waking up with the exact problem that your signature offer is selling, right? Your book, your offer, your course. Your pre-existing audience is completely irrelevant to your offer. Remember, the key to scaling is going out and attracting the people who need your offer every single day and turning them into customers. How? By unleashing your story, understanding your why, shifting into your new identity, and of course, working with the right team.
I want to talk about how amazing Dasha has been in my life. She has been just such an inspiration, a powerhouse, an empowered woman with her wisdom and her knowledge to help me on my journey and guide me. She has literally been everything living in. It hasn't even been 1 year yet, and my company is grossing $300,000. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I already know that I'm meant to live in abundance, to help families. I'm a giver. Like, I just want to give in the biggest way. Great wisdom. My life is one big synchronicity right now, and it's just magic every day. I've put in the work. When I tell you I've put in the work, everything that Dasha has told me to do from the time that I met her, I've got my first 20K client, and I wanted to share how she helped me break the barrier and the belief
that we need to act small and be small and, charge less. And for the longest time in my mind, I thought that it was not possible to heal people or provide healing and wellness events and be comfortable financially. I feel nourished and powerful, and I feel like I'm providing nourishment and power and helping the awakening of this beautiful earth.
My name is Samal, and I'm an immigrant from Saudi Arabia. I became an activist, and I learned that I always can bring good ideas to the table, and I always have a clear vision, but I've never knew that specifically until Dasha came into my life. She came into my life in a time that I just lost my mother out of cancer. I was kicked out of my job just because I was competitive and I was using my voice, and I felt I was ready to die. But then Dasha came in, and she has this power where she sees someone's full potential, and she acts from that place. And she was a great reminder with her magnificent magical tools in the course that she just described that I went through. At the beginning, I went through it really slowly and then fast, and I did it many times at the same time, had calls with her. And she taught me how to be very clear and specific about really what I wanted. And today, as we're speaking, I'm relaunching my own company. It's a production company, specifically create animation that solve problems and talk about sensitive subjects that other medium cannot talk. I am doing an animation about womanhood. At the same time, we're going to talk about motherhood, manhood, but specifically it's about womanhood. It's a budget of more than 2 million, and it's already, there's a company who came that will fund it, another company who will come just to market it. A whole team just came into my life, like one of the writers of Tom and Jerry, one of the writers with Jimmy Kimmel, like
Dasha Love. Dasha is a rock star of a human and a coach. She's that person who, no matter when you need her, how you need her, she is going to show up in the biggest way, but in all the ways that you exactly need. She is beyond intuitive and is so grounded in who she is with herself that she's able to spread so much knowledge and wealth and insight into blind spots and maybe in places that you can't see within yourself. I'm telling you from personal experience, Dashi is the person who held me by the hand to get me out of my head and into purpose by breaking down belief systems, by putting me on a proper routine, by getting me to a place where I have a completely finished product course that is ready for the world. That's in full alignment for who I am and my purpose. And it would not have been completed or finished, or I would not have been able to hold myself accountable, in all honesty, to get to the place where I needed to be within myself and in all the places. And Dasha is the one who was able to get me there. Without her, I would not be where I am. And so my love and appreciation and gratitude for everything Dasha is and how she shows up for other people is beautiful to witness and to see how she shines so brightly, and it just like ripples out to the ones she chooses to work with, because also Dashi is particular, and you have to be ready to work with her because she will hold you accountable. And the biggest thing with Dash is she will hold you accountable. She'll push you to your edges of where you know, maybe you don't know, but she knows that you can go there. So she'll push you to your own edges of the greatest version of yourself. And that's what Dashi does for me and what she did for me. And that's why I am where I am within my work and within my practice. So Dashi, I love you, sister. And thank you for everything that you've done for me, with me, to get me to this newer, evolved version of self. I thank you, and I swear I would not have been able to do this without you. But you know that. If anybody is considering working with Dash, you know, figure out what you need. Accountability is what she is great at, and she will figure out a solution. She is great at finding solutions, and whatever you need, she can do. She's one of these people who is so multifaceted.